What's good, family? What's good? Welcome to another edition of Spiritual Awakening. Yours truly, A.G. Green Sr. You know what to do, family. Tag, share, and text. Text, share, and tag. Let people know that we're streaming live. So glad to vibe with our tribe. Tag, share, and text. Text, share, and tag. Got some wonderful things we want to share with you tonight. It's so good to see all of you checking in. What an honor and a privilege it is every time I get a chance to speak to you and to serve you. Let me know if you can see and hear me well. Let me know if you can see and hear me well. Let me know if you can see it and hear me well. Good to see my person on tonight. Our resident therapist, Pastor Cotton, is on. Linda is in his hour, and Hillary. Good to see you all on tonight. Let me know if you can see and hear me well. What an honor and a privilege it is again to be on with you in this wonderful, wonderful, wonderful spiritual space. It is awesome. It is magnificent. And I'm so thankful and I'm so grateful that you are with us here on tonight. Yes, it's an awesome, 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 awesome thing to be able to connect with you. Let's see. Loud and clear. I can see and hear well. Thank you so much for your feedback tonight on family. Let's pray. Almighty, we're so thankful and grateful for this opportunity to connect. We're one spirit and one consciousness through the divine creator, the source sustainer of all things. We submit ourselves to you. We detach from our persona and we exist in a pure state of the spiritual and consciousness. Guide us, lead us, elevate us, inspire us, teach us how to walk with you, teach us how to experience full spectrum healing, wholeness, how to co-create with you, order our steps. And we thank you and praise you and magnify you as we remember Yeshua, his name, his power, his consciousness, his way. It is so, and so it is. Tag, share, and text. Text, share, and tag. And let me make sure that you remember that you can connect with me on the various social media sites you see listed at the bottom of the screen. Just letting you know, this is how you can connect with me and encourage others to do so as well. That would be Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, Twitter, and YouTube. I have a TikTok video, that I put up last week. If you haven't seen it, go by, see it, like it, leave your comments, so forth and so on. I would most certainly appreciate it. Visit me at theaggreen.com. That's theaggreen.com. And if you want to improve your spiritual walk, divinespeciesshop.com, divinespeciesshop.com. Let us remember, if you have not already connected, we're working inside our Patreon community, expanding our content, our lessons to teach you, to inspire you, to guide you, and you can get 50% off the first month of the paid tiers, REV50 at checkout. Do yourself a favor. You'll be glad you did. And don't forget, we are finishing this year out strong, 50 days of power, perspective, and purpose. Make sure you see those mini posts every day. Leave your comments, even leave your desires and aspirations for the upcoming year. All right, let's check in. I always like to remind you that you're made in the image and likeness of an all-powerful spiritual being. Ephesians 3:20 tells us, now to him that is able to do exceeding abundantly above all that we ask or think. It is according to the power that worketh in us. Type in the comment section and speak out loud, I am powerful. Come on, type it in the comment section. I am powerful. Come on, type it in the comment section. I am powerful. Come on, speak the power. declare the power, decree the power, know the power. I am powerful. What a beautiful, wonderful thing it is to know that you're powerful, to embrace that you're powerful, and recognize interdependence on the Creator, meaning that that sovereign being that we believe to be has created us with power and authority, and that He exists within us to help guide that power and authority. And we know how, when it's necessary, to appeal to the creator, source, and sustainer within us to get things done. That's right. I am powerful. I am powerful. Indeed, I am powerful. And I am so glad and so honored to know that you recognize that you are powerful. Now let's check in on you real quickly. Let me check in on you real quickly, family. What's good? What's good? Tell me about your week. What's good? Tell me about your week thus far. I am more than interested to know how your week has been going thus far. Mine has been going pretty good, I would say, pretty good. I am believing that it is going to improve even as I am speaking to you. But it has been a pretty good week thus far, and I am looking forward to get better. Talk to me. What's good? Tell me about your week. What's good, family? Tell me about your week. I want to know how your week has been going thus far. Waiting on you to respond in the comment section. This is my way of checking up on you. And you know what? It also gives our community an opportunity to get just a sliver of knowledge as it relates to how you're doing, how a cohort in the tribe is doing. All right. Our resident mystic Wesley Turk says, week going well. Wonderful, wonderful. Linda Nelson says, doing well. Hey, Linda. And Hillary says, week has been beautiful. Week has been beautiful. Wonderful, wonderful. Now, I love to hear her say that because she has been dealing with a situation with her vehicle, so many thousands of dollars she was told it was going to require to be fixed. And yet her attitude is that of gratitude. And we always want to do the best we can, and no matter what we're dealing with, to make sure we thank the creator, source, and sustainer, and be able to shape and cultivate our perspectives. It's a wonderful thing to do. Let's see. My Krista says week started off a bit challenging. Today has been better. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And our resident therapist says week is going well. I'm peaceful and powerful. Glad to see him back as well. Mourning the death of his, as he says, his wonderful favorite aunt. Glad to see all of you on tonight. And thank you for sharing with me how your week has been going thus far. Now we got to do a mental check-in. How are your thoughts? How are your thoughts? On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, 1 being the lowest, rate your thoughts and then put a little comment next to it as to why you might have rated your thoughts. We want to do a check-in on your mental state. We want to do a check-in also on your thoughts. What have your dominant thoughts been for today or for the week or lately? And how do you think that's going in terms of the thoughts that you are thinking? All right? Talk back to me. How are your thoughts? I am definitely interested to know how your thoughts are. Let's see who's going to be the first one to respond and tell us how are your thoughts. As he thinketh in his heart, so is he. Yes, 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 yes. We are dominated. Our lives, the creation we live in, the things that manifest in our world are based on our dominant thoughts, which determine our states of consciousness, which determine our state of being. And I always like to periodically check in and be honest. Be honest. There's no judgment here. Be honest. Tell us how your thoughts have been. We want to know because we're your family, but more importantly, I want to know so that I can know how to pray and meditate on your behalf. So talk to me, tell me, how are your thoughts? How are your thoughts. Let's see here. Hillary says grounded, healing, regulated nervous system, powerful, aligned. Okay. Let's see here. Resident Mystic says thoughts on the spiritual end. That's very, very good. Who else wants to share rate their thoughts today or lately? Just want to check in and see how your thoughts are. And if we have not learned anything in the news lately, it should be that we should check on each other. We should check on each other. Sometimes we think people are doing well. Sometimes people don't look like what they're going through. And they're sometimes summarily dismissed. And all of a sudden you hear they're in the hospital or they're not here at all. And so we want to check on each other. Okay, let's see here. Said thoughts have been pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good. Okay, that's good. Again, you rate yourself. You rate yourself. This is all subjective. This is all subjective. How you feel is how you feel. And I could say my thoughts are pretty good. Had a few anxious moments, had a few moments I had to calm myself, rebalance myself, reground myself in the things that I am preparing to do, things I would like to see done, things I'd like to see changed, as well as self-reflecting on some improvements I want to make in my own life. So I know what it's like to be out of balance and to at times have thoughts that are dominated, unwanted thoughts, we should say, that dominate that part of our being. Let's see here. She said, imagining thoughts. What do you mean by that, Linda Nelson, imagining thoughts? Talk to me. What do you mean by imagining thoughts? Imagining thoughts. I just want you to rate on a scale of 1 to 10 and tell me if you think your thoughts are good, you think your thoughts are positive, you think your thoughts are negative, or have you been anxious? Have you been nervous? However you want to articulate it. But what do you mean by that real quickly, Linda? While we are sharing, being transparent here on today. Let's see. Krista chimed in and said 8 out of 10, despite strong emotions earlier this week. Still tried my best to stay focused on the positive. Okay. Thank you for that. And let's see. Linda says very good. Okay. Appreciate you, Linda. I really, really, really appreciate you sharing that. Right. Getting ready to get into this teaching. I missed our resident therapist on Thursday. I don't know what Sunday that we were on. He can catch us up for Sunday, but also the subject tonight and the installment that we are currently on. I'm going to give him an opportunity to put that up. And I have my assistants who are here with us tonight who will put up our scriptures in just a few minutes. Okay. We're going to get into this teaching. Thank you so much. There he is. Part 10. We're in part 10. Conscious creator on being a conscious creator. Part 10 on being a conscious creator or of being a conscious creator. This is one of the many subjects that are near and dear to me. And I know that if we begin to grasp exactly what it means to be a conscious creator, then we are going to see our lives change with a more, how can I put this, more strategically aligned, more strategically focused, more strategically driven, more purpose driven, because we will recognize that we are consciously creating at all times. We will recognize that we are consciously creating at all times. And so we want to recognize right now, while I'm speaking today, before today, tomorrow, guess what you'll be doing? You will be creating something. And this subject is important to me because I do understand what it's like to see things in your world and then wonder how it got there. I do understand what it's like to endure experiences and then wonder how it got there. And again, through culture, through religion, through other things that we learn through collective consciousness, we assign blame, we assign a definition, we assign a reason as to why things are in our world, why things exist the way they exist, why things are happening the way that they're happening. And again, we put most of the onus either on, in a dual system, a system of duality, either on evil or good. And in this case, we would be referring to God, or who is referred to as the other fellow, referred to as the devil. And then last but not least, people tend to blame themselves. So pretty much three different personas, three different beings that are blamed for conscious creation and are blamed for things that exist in our world. All right. But what if it was all you? I want you to type it in the comment section. What if it was all me? Type that in the comment section for me. What if it was all me? Type that in the comment section. What if it was all me? What if it wasn't who you thought it was? What if it was you? Okay. And some of y'all have, I probably need to go back and watch that movie. I don't really watch movies like that anymore, but the movie, y'all remember me giving you the illustration of the movie with Halle Berry that she made years ago. And in this movie, she was being stalked, and she felt like somebody was trying to murder her and somebody was trying to kill her. And so it's been a while since I've seen the movie, but I think she talked it over with her friends. That seemed like she even filed a police report. It's like, people were trying to break into her house, just different things. She was being terrorized in her life. Okay. And toward the end of the movie, it's not a cliffhanger. What's another thing what's the other language, the other term they use when there's like a plot twist? I guess that's what I could use. A plot twist. That's good. There's kind of a plot twist because most of the movie people are trying to figure out who in the world is this person that's trying to stalk her. And you could see signs in her world that her world had been disturbed and things were happening to her and something was being done to her, so forth and so on. And the plot twist came toward the end of the movie when she realized that she had a split personality, multiple personalities. And the person who was terrorizing her was her. It wasn't anybody else. It was her. In other words, that was a part of her own self, her own mind. The personality that felt like it was being stalked was totally oblivious to the existence of the other personality that when it took over was doing certain things. Okay. Hillary says she's seen it. She says, yes, it was really good. I don't remember the name of it. If y'all remember the name of that movie, put it up in the comment section. I'll put it up on the screen. It's a good movie to watch, but the truth be told, we live like that pretty much every day. Folks are living like that daily and don't realize that it's not other beings that's terrorizing them. It's not other beings that's disrupting their life. It's really our thoughts, our feelings, and our emotions. And that's not to say I don't believe that there's some kind of evil in the world. I just think we give too much time and attention to that other fellow. And I think that there are activities that present themselves in people's lives that we attribute to him or to God, the divine, the creator, source, and sustainer, which is really us as a divine being creating and manifesting things that we see in our world. All right. If y'all come across the title to that movie, put it up in the comment section and I will put it up on the screen. I might go back and check it out again. Okay. So we're in part 10. part 10. And there's something I wanted to kind of cover with you real quickly. I want to kind of emphasize something before I get into this teaching. Okay, look like Krista says it's Frankie and Alice. Is that the name of it? Frankie and Alice? Okay. Frankie and Alice? Is that okay? She says that's the name of it. Frankie and Alice. Okay, thank you so much for that. I'll have to go back sometime and watch that. All right. Um, let me ask you a question. Talk to me before I get into the subject matter. Talk to me when I get into subject matter. Why do I emphasize spiritual principles versus religious principles? And again, in case I didn't remind you, there's a blog article coming up on that. And I think I did created a post series as well. I think it'll be the turn of next year when I will release that to our spiritual community. But why do I emphasize spiritual principles? Somebody talk to me. Why do I emphasize that? I want to see who's paying attention. Why do I emphasize that? Why do I emphasize that? Spiritual principles over religious principles. Real quickly. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that for a few minutes. And then I'm going to share something else that I'm getting ready to drop and release for you, my spiritual family, my tribe that I vibe with. But real quickly, anybody want to share why I have shared with you that I emphasize spiritual principles over religious principles? Let's see here. Our resident therapist says it's the basis of our existence. Mm-hmm. Anybody else? Want to share with us real quickly? I want to hear from you. That's a good one. Anybody else? And then I'm going to elaborate on that before I get into trying to wrap up this series on conscious creation tonight, and maybe do another exercise before we get off here. Okay? Before we get off here. And again, I want our assistants, Matthew 9:29, same text, Matthew 9:29, Hebrews 11:1, Proverbs 23:7, okay? And Romans 4:17. 9 and 20, Matthew 9:29, Hebrews 11:1, Proverbs 23:7, Romans 4:17. Okay. And while you're putting your answers up, we talked a little bit from the scientific and psychological framework, talking about self-fulfilling prophecies, the placebo effect, the growth mindset, and predictive coding theory on last week. And we're going to get into a few more things tonight. Let's see. He says to control our reality, and she says it's the real thing. Okay. All of that is true. So this is what I'm going to do. I want to put up my definition of what spiritual principles are. Okay. Let's see here. Which definition do I want to use? I'm going to use this first one, and then I'm going to go back and copy and paste the second one for you. Put it up on the screen real quickly for you. See if I can fit it all up there. Well, it's giving it to me in two messages. Spiritual principles are the foundation of truths, laws, and guiding values that govern the inner life of a person and describe how consciousness interacts with reality. They operate beyond any one religion and reflect universal patterns found in philosophy, psychology, mysticism, metaphysics, and the great wisdom traditions. Okay? And let me go ahead and put up a working definition and break it down for you before I get into some more principles that we're discussing in our lesson tonight. He's probably going to put it up again in 2 different messages. Again, another definitions. They are universal, timeless truths that guide human behavior, shape inner development, and govern how consciousness expresses itself in the world. They describe the laws of meaning, identity, intention, energy, and relationship that underlie all aspects of life: mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual. So let me just highlight the last few words of that long sentence: that underlie all aspects of life: mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual. Spiritual principles, family, are what's holding this universe together. Okay, I'm going to say it again. Spiritual principles are what's holding this universe together, including us as spiritual beings who exist in a realm, in a creation of sorts. Our native essence is spirit. We are spiritual beings. Being spiritual means we are also energy beings. But being physical also means, in the physical sense, we're energy beings, but I'm talking about the spiritual. Now, it predates the physical dimension. And it is believed, of course, within the realm of Christianity and other religious texts, that the Creator is ultimately a spiritual being that created physical matter. The divine, the creator, source, sustainer, unified field, whatever you refer to it, is actually a spiritual essence, a spiritual entity, okay? Anthropomorphically defined as a deity, or viewed and perceived as a deity. But it is of pure spiritual substance. It is a superior realm and a superior dimension that has created all of what we call physical matter. All physical matter, meaning down to the subatomic particles, the building blocks of physical matter. All has been created by a spiritual being or from a spiritual source, or is derived from a spiritual dimension or a spiritual realm. So you and I are really, again, we are spirits. We are spirits. We have a physical apparatus we know as a body that has its own functions and its own connectivity to the physical plane, the physical world. But the real us is spirit. And at any given time on this journey, family, you can leave this body and still be alive, meaning not experiencing death, but just stepping outside of this temple, stepping outside this physical avatar is possible. Now, I'm going to say this again. I've said it before, and I don't care who has an opinion that's counter to this. There are people who are mocking and scoffing and crying all kinds of hideous, to me, erroneous and ignorant things when they say it's evil and demonic and it's divination and witchcraft if you know how to come out of your body. And I say to people like that, you can't find that in your biblical text. Number 2, what sense does it make for a creator to make you a spirit like him or like it, all right? And then give it the ability, its creation, to govern itself as a spirit. And at the same time, if it decides to or learns to step out of its physical nature and exist temporarily or in temporality in its spiritual state, I have allowed you to have this ability, but then I turn around and tell you, you can't use this. You can't be this. It's like, again, it's like asking a dog not to bark. It's like asking a bird not to fly. We are a divine species, family. We are incredibly powerful. This is why I'm constantly reminding you of how powerful you really are. I don't want you to get focused on religion's conditions for being powerful. And I don't want you to become xenophobic. And I don't want you to fall prey to exclusivity. No, everybody that comes into this physical realm as a spirit being who inhabits a physical body is powerful. And there's a spark of the divine and the spark of the creator in all of us. Period. There are things you are supposed to be doing outside of your body. I'm going to say it again. There are things you are supposed to know how to do outside of your body. There are some things you're supposed to accomplish. There are some places you're supposed to travel. There are some things you are supposed to learn outside of your body, or learn it from the spiritual you, which again is tethered to this physical you, but not limited to this physical you. You existed in pure spiritual form before you ever put this body on. And people might not want to hear me say this, especially if you are hardcore Christians. I've always believed in pre-existence, but I wasn't taught reincarnation. It is very possible that you existed as another being before you came into this iteration or version of yourself. But you have existed for thousands of years. And this is a good time to have this conversation. This is a good time for us to have this conversation very briefly before I get into spiritual principles. Very briefly. There are some of us on here who are older than others. I'm going to say it again. There are some of us on here who are older than others. And when I talk about age, family, I'm not talking about chronological age. I'm talking about in terms of your existence as a being. A being in consciousness. Hear what I'm saying today. I'm not talking about your existence in terms of a thought, a form, or an idea in the mind of the creator that has not taken on any individualized spiritual substance and has not, as an individualized spiritual substance or individualized aspect of God, taken on a body. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you have existed as a spiritual being, and you've existed as an individualized aspect of God, creator, source, and sustainer longer than other folk have. Catch what I'm saying today. I don't even want to open that can up today because I won't have time to get into it, and I want to give you some more receipts when I start talking about stuff like that. Okay. I want you to type it in the comment section. I should not limit the possibilities of who I am. Type that in the comment section. I should not limit the possibilities of who I am. Type that in the comment section. I should not limit the possibilities of who I am. Now, so I gave you that definition. So guess what? Let me get my drum roll together. Let me go on and segue into it before I get the teaching done. See if I got a good drum roll in here. I'm getting ready to, we're going to shift from this station of being a conscious creator, if not this week, after next week. And I'm going to start a series on 30 spiritual principles. 30 spiritual principles. Okay. 30 spiritual principles. So it's going to take me probably 30 spiritual principles. It's going to take me a while. It's probably going to take 3 to 4 months. And this is what I'll be discussing. And I'm going to go over each spiritual principle. I should make it a master class. I should just pre-record all 30 and sell it for $1,000. It's going to be just that informative. But we're going to cover spiritual principles on Wednesday night I'm going to take my time. And sometimes I don't want to say I get stuck, but I come in contact with some information that requires us to spend a little bit more time on it. All right. So I want you to understand the necessity of spiritual principles. I want you to start governing your life by spiritual principles, not religious principles. And it is true that there are some religious principles derived from spiritual principles. There's nothing wrong with them. But what many people see in religion as their rules, their regulations, and their doctrines are not many times spiritual principles. They're not spiritual principles. Again, spiritual principles are universal. They would work for whoever uses it because they are the spiritual substratum of everything that exists. Okay. But I am going to start teaching on 30 spiritual principles. And I'm going to start with the principle of oneness. I'm going to start with the principle of oneness. And I'm going to take my time going through all these spiritual principles so that you can kind of identify. And I'm not saying these are all the principles in the universe. I'm just going to cover 30. And in these 30, I like to give scientific evidence. I don't just like to cover it from the spiritual and metaphysical. I like to talk about science. It's affirmation and confirmations in science. It's affirmations and confirmation, by science, affirmation and confirmation by psychology and other relevant fields of study, because that ultimately is congruence. And you don't have to be somebody who even believes in God, believes in the spiritual, to stumble across some knowledge and wisdom that really is confirming what has already existed in the spiritual for eons, or as a spiritual principle for eons. Okay. But I will quote from many of the ancient texts and other writers and other experts, but I want to give you an idea of what spiritual principles really are. These are, family, the bedrock of everything that exists. And if we learn how to align with these principles, we will shake off the limitations, the restrictions, and the poor understanding of who and what we are that we've been taught through dirty lenses, dirty prisms, limited perspectives. Wow. I felt that when I said it. Okay. So let's see here. We got some texts that have already been put up. Let me go back to them. Let me see where they started at. Hebrews 11:1, NIV. Now faith is the confidence of what we hope for and the assurance of what we do not see. Let's see, King James. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Then we look at the King James, Matthew 9:29. Then he touched their eyes, saying, according to them, according to your faith, be it unto you. Let's see. Maybe I missed some other texts before that. Did I miss some other texts? Let's see here. Let me look up here. See if Hillary put any more in here. Okay. Yes, here's something right here, 9:29. Then he touched their eyes and said, according to your faith, be it done to you. All scriptures, again, that bear witness to conscious creation, to conscious creation. We are all conscious creators. I want you to type in the comment section, I am a conscious creator. Type that in the comment section. I am a conscious creator. I am a conscious creator. Type that in the comment section for me. I am a conscious creator. Let me get this. Okay, I know what I did wrong. I am a conscious creator. Let's go back up here. There we go. I am a conscious creator. I want you to own that. You're a conscious creator who not only makes your breakfast, you're a conscious creator who not only takes a shower, you're a conscious creator who not only, creates, something stinking 2-3 times a day when you sit on the toilet. You're a conscious creator who not only consciously brushes your teeth. You're a conscious creator who not only consciously creates things with your mind and your hands. You are creating, you are weaving, you are co-constructing reality with your thoughts, with your core beliefs, with your belief system. You are consciously creating something. Proverbs 23:7, as a man thinking in his heart, so is he. Romans 4:17, call those things that be not as though they were. Now listen, I use this text because it's referring, family, to the creator. It's referring to God. But again, you are one with that God. You have the same abilities as that God. So the God who called those things that be not as though they were, it's the same ability that is mentioned in Romans chapter 4 and verse 17. That God is joined to you. You are one spirit. You are one with that God. Let that resonate in your heart while I'm speaking. That God is in you. That God is a part of you. That God is one with you. This is the reason why whatever you think, imagine, and speak crystallizes and hardens into fact and into reality, because you have the abilities. You carry that God. That God has also given you his abilities, his power, so forth and so on. Another text has nothing to do with the Bible that bears witness. As a man's desire is, so is his destiny. In other words, his desire determines his destiny. This is Hindu scripture, family. Hindu scripture. Put another text up. Put another text up. Here we go, right here. Again, these scriptures predate the Bible. This was said before there was a Genesis, before there was a Revelation, and anything in between. Buddhist text. All that we are is a result of what we thought. All that we are is a result of what we have thought. I'm sorry, that's past tense. And again, let me emphasize this. When you and I are seeing in the world around us, our finances, the place we live, the devices we're working on right now, the career we might have, let's see, what we are dressed, what we're wearing right now, is all a result of past thinking. For example, this device is a result of the past thinking of a manufacturer. Okay. And it's also a result of my past thinking because I acquired it several months ago. Am I making any sense? This is why I don't ever want us to be discouraged, because what you might see today you don't like is what you put there from thinking on yesterday. Again, this is an ancient Buddhist text that's confirming we're conscious creators. And let me put one more up real quickly. As within, so without. Emerald tablets of Hermes, Trismegistus. It's a Hermetic text, and this text is believed to even go back further than that, potentially traced to thought, or Thoth, which I don't have time to get into tonight. But as within, so without. Why don't we type that in the comment section? As within, so without. And I want somebody, I'm gonna ask you in a minute, just type that in the comment section. As within, so without. As within, so without. So biblical texts and these other texts that I just quoted to you, they affirm, family, that inner consciousness is the causative power of the outer world. Oh my goodness. This is so powerful. Whatever you think within is manifesting without. Whatever you think within is manifesting without. Thank you so much for typing that. Good to see you, Monica. Thank y'all so much. As within, so without. Okay. Break that down in your own language for me real quickly in the comment section. Let's go for it. Who wants to break that down real quickly? As within, so without. Real quickly. Break that down for me, for us, for our tribe tonight in the comment section. Let me see. Let me see. Elaborate on that for me, family. Elaborate on that for me, family, real quickly. Real quickly. Elaborate on that. And then I'm going to move to neuroscience of assumption and talk about that. And then we're going to get into another exercise tonight. Another exercise tonight. Somebody elaborate on that. What does that mean to you? As within, so without. As within, so without. What does that mean to you? As within, so without. real quickly. Let's see. Resident therapist says my world and outer world is an outer expression of my inner alignment of consciousness. Okay. Well, in reality, excuse me, my word in reality is an outer expression of my inner alignment of consciousness. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, thank you so much. Okay. Let's see here. Thank you, Monica. Let's see what's on the inside will reflect on the outside. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank y'all so much for sharing that. Let me talk briefly. I've been talking about it for months now, just reminding you as it relates to conscious creation. We are creating based on our thinking. Okay. Thinking manifests creation, or thinking determines personal being, it determines our individualized being, and it also determines what we see in physical reality. And I have shared with you about the reticular activating system, which is a small network in the brain stem. It acts as a gatekeeper for attention. It literally filters reality according to what we deem important. So when we assume success, the RAS tunes your awareness toward opportunities, people, and ideas that align with that belief. I'm bringing that up again because you and I are consciously creating from the brain structure, from a perspective of neurology. We're creating based on what we believe. So if we believe there are opportunities, guess what? There are going to be opportunities. If we don't believe there are opportunities, there won't be opportunities. If we believe that the walls are closing, then the walls are closing. Okay. And let me just interject this for station identification. Sometimes now, when you've done what you're supposed to do, you kind of standing in your power, you recognize what you are, then sometimes the creator or sometimes God or the divine is revealing to us sometimes walls are closing in to move to the next season. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people basically living in a state of consciousness where these dominant thoughts have conditioned the reticular activating system to only allow things to get into decision making in the brain and other parts of the brain based on what aligns with that person's personal belief. Okay. So if lack and scarcity and not having enough, even when it is what you believe, then even when you're trying to shift that belief for more, you'll constantly be thinking about how can I do this because I don't have enough. Again, the reticular activating system is going to do its job according to your beliefs, your core beliefs, and constantly show you things in your world that confirm these beliefs. It's constantly going to point out things. If it's abundance that you believe, it will point out abundance. Okay. If it's hurt that you believe, it'll point out hurt. If it's nobody appreciates me that you believe, it will constantly show you, bring things, allow things to enter the brain that confirms that you're not appreciated. I know this is deep, but it's true. And it's working masterfully in terms of philosophy and in terms of religion. This is why some folks will never break out, because their reticular activating system, they're a slave to it. It's conditioned to only allow certain things in to confirm their conceptual framework of God, their conceptual framework of reality, their conceptual framework of themselves. And unless they decide that there's something out there I want to open myself up to, they're going to just remain in this reality tunnel for the rest of their lives with the same confirmation and cognitive bias. Neuroplasticity is the next thing. Dr. Donald Hibbs' axiom: neurons that fire together, wire together, explains how repetition of thought and feeling strengthens neural connections. Persistent assumption literally rewires the brain to embody the desired identity. I'm going to put that in the comment section so I can put that up on the screen so you can see that. And let's look at that for a few minutes. So neurons that fire together, wire together, that's that neural pathway that's created. This again is from it's called Hebb's law. Is what it's really called, Hebb's law. But in terms of thinking nomenclature or thinking vernacular or thinking linguistics or psychological linguistics, persistent assumption literally rewires the brain to embody the desired identity. So the struggle bus is filled with people with a struggle identity. Somehow they have persistently assumed in their interpretation of a series of events or the conditioning that they've allowed themselves to experience, whether it's beginning in childhood and flowing with them into adulthood, they persistently assume that life is a struggle. Therefore, I'm going to always struggle. And I am a person who struggles. When you persist in that, eventually, it's not that just your brain, your body accepts the identity. Okay. And you as a being, your persona, okay, your persona, which is not pure consciousness, your persona, which is a created psychological conception for this existence, will come into being, okay, and will rewire your brain to think that I am a person who is meant to struggle, and my life is always about struggle. If it's not one thing, it's another. If it's not two things, it's three. If it's possible for it to bad things to happen, it's definitely going to happen to me. And I take one step forward and two steps back. These are the things that these kinds of people say. I can never get ahead. It's just not meant for me to be happy. It's not meant for me to have extra. These kind of good things don't really happen to me. You know, yes, yes, yes. Go figure. It's going to happen for somebody else, but it's not going to happen for me. These are things that people who have embraced and embodied a struggle identity. This is their state of mind. This is their state of being. Sometimes they become bitter, or sometimes they become apathetic, or sometimes they just give up. I've experienced that in portions of my life many years ago. Even though I was a person of faith, I had to arrive to a place where the tension was less and I embodied more of a faith identity, a power identity, than a weakness identity, or than a struggle identity, or a lack mentality, or a scarcity mentality. Watch this, or even a slavery mentality. Y'all quiet up in here. Ain't nobody saying nothing. Okay, good. I must be talking good. I must be shaking a few trees. This is a result of neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity. Type that in the comment section. Neuroplasticity. It means that your brain has the ability to change based on what it's thinking. Type the word neuroplasticity in the comment section. Neuroplasticity in the comment section. Neuroplasticity in the comment section. Neuroplasticity. Mm-hmm. Neuroplasticity. Type that in the comment section. Thank you for your honesty, Linda. Appreciate that. Your transparency. Y'all some awesome people. This tribe is amazing. Okay, look like I'm almost out of time. Type that in the comment section. Neuroplasticity, real quickly. Neuroplasticity. Let's type that in the comment section. Your brain literally changes, and the changes are based on your thinking and what you feel. Okay? Is everybody understanding this thus far? Your brain will change based on what you think. So let's type that. My brain changes based on what I believe. Type that in the comment section. My brain changes based on what I believe. Type that in the comment section. My brain changes based on what I believe. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. So powerful. And my brother Andrew was talking to me this evening, talking about some things and, some wonderful changes in his life, which is leading me as a segue into the next thing about embodied cognition. And he was saying to me that he's still walking around in praise and gratitude and with the feeling that he's rich. And he says it's working. People don't understand that you think it and feel it before you see the results manifest in the physical. And the results manifest in the physical because your faith is vibrating, your faith is emitting, your faith is creating, your faith is manifesting through your thoughts, through the full embodiment, the full experience of you thinking and feeling and being happy and grateful. So that feeling of being rich, his body is taking on that feeling that because I'm rich, I have everything that I want and everything I desire. Okay. Remember, I gave y'all that illustration last week, a couple of weeks ago, about they call it a sweatless anointing in church, but how uh, you can manifest income without working. And I was sharing with you all how I use the illustration of a cash app. And if you've ever gotten a cash app of unexpected money, okay, then that's an illustration or that's proof right there that you didn't work for that. Well, I was talking to somebody today who proved that while I was on the phone with them. They said, is this what I think I'm seeing? They were like, what? Wait a minute. What is this? Looked at their cash app and somebody had sent them $500. Unexpected money that they didn't work for, they didn't beg for, they didn't plead for, they didn't slobber for, they didn't fast for. Did you catch that? Again, embodying that all my needs are supplied, embodying that I can have what I want, embodying that I can more than afford anything. Hear what I'm saying? It seems crazy to the person outside of you that don't know you. This is why you shouldn't express some of these things to people who are not in alignment with your beliefs. But this person believes I have it all right now. And money is showing up because reality is agreeing with them. Reality is being projected, and then the universe and God is saying, yep, you believe it, you receive it. That's a principle. If you believe it, you receive it. If you assumed it, you are it. Embodied cognition. Antonio Damasio's research, from the feeling of what happens 1999, shows that emotion and bodily states anchor consciousness. Anchor consciousness. When you assume a state emotionally and somatically, which means physically or bodily, your body begins behaving as if it were already true, setting off physiological cascades, hormonal, immunological, behavioral. It starts acting like it. Did y'all catch that? It starts acting like it. Wow. Have you ever desired a food so much until you could smell it? Have you ever desired a food so much until your saliva glands start making more saliva? Your mouth got watery. Has that ever happened to you before? That's the body embodying the state of you being a person who's eating that hamburger, eating that steak, eating that shrimp, eating them chicken wings. Come on here, somebody. We can do that in every situation. Okay. Do you know what foreplay really is? Sexually, foreplay sexually is the body saying, "Yep, it's happening." It's the mind telling the body, "We getting some." It's the mind telling the body the pleasure is about to jump off, and things, start getting hard. I don't want to get too graphic. Might be some children watching me in the background. Blood starts flowing. Come on now. He ain't even touched you yet. She haven't even physically touched you yet, but they touch you mentally, and you touch yourself mentally. Come on now. Having some heat flashes in the moment. Hmm? Things start flowing through your body. It won't be long. It won't be long. This, Lord have mercy. Oh, have mercy. I don't even know if I should say this. This might be too much. It's not too much. It's not graphic. It's not graphic. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you why horniness produces an outcome to relieve that horniness. It's because you've embodied it. You've in that state of consciousness, your body is repeatedly saying, "I want to be pleasured, and I'm being pleasured right now just by thinking about it." That may go on a month. That may go on 2 months. They may go on 3 months. Now, if you don't do something yourself, you're going to put yourself in a situation where somebody's going to help you do that. This is how powerful this is. And y'all know I'm telling the truth, and don't nobody have to admit it here in this broadcast. So even then, we are consciously creating and don't know we're consciously creating. So the body takes on the state before the conditions, physical conditions, align to fulfill it. Wow. Then the last thing is emotional resonance and quantum parallel. While quantum physics does not claim consciousness creates matter, experiments like the double slit experiment reminds us that observation changes outcome. Assumption is your conscious observation from the end, the alignment of mind with the probability you choose. Wow. So in essence, what we are choosing in our thoughts and emotions will partner with the quantum world, which is an aspect of the physical dimension, and still produce the outcome. It will still produce the outcome. Did you hear what I just said today? It still will produce the outcome. Catch that. And he's a powerful statement on what I just said. He's using the term nocturnal emissions. Absolutely. Or your body will make you nocturnal emissions. In other words, things going to happen at night while you sleeping. Y'all know what I'm saying. Okay. If I was in Patreon, I'd just come on out and say it. All right. So I want you to understand that once you observe and put your focus on something, you have the ability to affect the outcome. You have the ability to affect the end. And this world is going to align, family. It's going to align with your core beliefs. It's going to align with what you actually believe. Oh my goodness. Am I making any sense to anybody? Okay, let's do an exercise here. I'm already over time. Let's do a little exercise real quickly. Let's do an exercise. Who's up for an exercise? Who's up for an exercise? Who's up for an exercise? Let's try something out. Who's up for an exercise? Talk to me. And we got Brenda watching us on Patreon. Good to see you, Brenda. Who's up for an exercise? Talk to me. We got one me. And hopefully you're in a place where there isn't a lot of noise or distractions. If you're in a place where you have a lot of noise and distractions, you can always do this later. You can always do this later. Okay. So what we're going to do is we did something similar. I want you to find a place that you can be seated and sit there comfortably. Sit there comfortably. Brenda's watching on Patreon. She says, hello to everybody. Sit there comfortably. Okay. Let me know when you find that place and you can sit comfortably real quickly. And if you can't, we'll just do it with the people right now who can. And you could still do this later, maybe before you go to bed or when you arise in the morning. Okay. All right. Let's see here. You're sitting comfortably. I want you to close your eyes. Okay. And as you close your eyes, I want you to let's take 4 deep breaths in. So we're going to inhale. I'm going to explain it. We're going to inhale. We're going to hold it for 3 seconds. And then I want you to exhale for 4 seconds. Hold the breath for 4 seconds as you're exhaling. Or I shouldn't say hold the breath, but you just exhale slowly. Okay. Let's begin to do that. We're sitting comfortably, eyes closed. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Hold it for 3 seconds. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let's do one more. Breathe in. Breathe out. While your eyes are closed, bring to mind your fulfilled desire. Maybe it's a relationship you want to be in. Maybe it's success on your job, in your career, in your business, in your family. Maybe it's physical healing, or maybe it's just peace. Imagine being in the moment after its completion. You might hear the words of congratulations. Congratulations on that lump sum of money. Congratulations on that weight loss. Congratulations on that new job. And I want you to feel the relief in its moment of completion. Then I want you to feel the gratitude. Now I want you to feel the joy. And as you're having these wonderful feelings, allow them to spread through your whole body, from your head down into your neck, down into your shoulders, into your chest, into your stomach, in your back, in your arms, in your hands, your torso. Allow that feeling to go down into your legs, your knees, your ankles, and your feet. And as you feel joy and gratitude and relief, say inwardly, say with your mind, it is done in me. It is done in me. It is done in me. Now, I want you to open your eyes and speak it with your lips. It is done in me. Close them one more time, 10 seconds, and reflect on the thoughts. Reflect on what you see. Reflect on what you feel. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now open your eyes. You just embodied the future emotion right now. You just collapsed time. You just collapsed the gap between vision and manifestation. Now talk back to me, family. How do you feel? Tell me how you're feeling. Tell me how you're feeling. Real quickly, tell me how you're feeling about the exercise. I tell you now, I feel good. Went somewhere myself. Real quickly. How do you feel? I feel good. I was there at that house. Brenda, who's on Patreon, says peaceful. Monica says, Linda says great. Monica says transform. Hillary says definition of alignment. I've been doing these exercises for the past week. Wonderful. Anybody else? And if you want me to, I can put this exercise in our Patreon community so you can see it and practice it every day. And if you keep praying for me and meditating with me, I'm going to get you a custom meditation. I really want Monday to be meditation Mondays in our community. Thank you so much for the feedback. Did you see anything? Did you feel like you were there? Did it feel like you were there, family, in terms of whatever it is you saw? Talk to me. Did it feel like you were there? I want to know, did it feel like you were there? Talk to me. Did it feel like you were there? Let me see. You're welcome. Brenda says, thank you. You're welcome. Appreciate you. Did it feel like you were there when you were doing this exercise? Talk to me. Talk to me. Did you feel like if you desired, I don't know, a trip, did you feel like you were actually on that trip? Okay. Talk back to me. Let's see. Monica says, yes, I was there in the present. Wonderful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I know of, including myself, but I know of so many people who have used this simple technique right here. Sometimes before they go to bed or when they wake up in the morning or at certain times throughout the day, and what they connected, where they traveled, that's what I'm going to say, where they traveled in their faith actually happened in the physical. It actually, as the scripture would say, came to pass. Okay. Linda says she was getting married. Watch out now, Linda. Come on. 68 years young. You can do it. You can do it. It's already done. You put that on display. This is finished here. You married to a good man who's gonna love you and lavish you. Love you, lavish you, and put some things on you too. Okay. Thank y'all so much for your honesty. Thank you for your transparency. Thank you for participating tonight. Keep doing that. Okay. And if you want me to put this as a post in the Patreon community, go to Patreon and remind me, and I'll be glad to copy it and paste it and put it in there. Yes, yes, yes. It's coming, Linda. I know some folk who got married for the first time at 70, some of them later than 70, and have wonderful relationships until they left this planet. Okay. So we're seeing it done. I hope we get an invite to the wedding. I hope we get an invitation to the wedding. Hope you invite your tribe. Don't be surprised you invite me and I come walking through there. Love to support you and all of you if I can. All right. The giving opportunities are on the screen here. And we want you to give as you are blessed to give. And I thank you so much for being on the broadcast with us tonight. Love you so dearly. Look forward to seeing many of you all in a couple of days. And I'm encouraging you to pray for each other and keep each other in your thoughts and prayers. I'm going to say this again. Pray for each other. See all the names mentioned here. Matter of fact, I know you can see it, but I want everybody to type their name in the comment section real quickly. Everybody who's on right now, type your name in the comment section. Now, Brenda is on Patreon. Okay. Brenda's on Patreon. Everybody else tonight is on we're on YouTube. Okay, I believe her last name is Harris. So, all right. You got you typing your name. Linda typed hers. Wesley typed hers. Okay, here's Hillary typed it. These are names that you should pray and meditate on for good things, for great things, for whatever it is that comes to your mind as a supply for them, as a help for them, as strength for them, as power for them. Okay? You see the names listed. I want you to pray for every name that's typed in the comment section here, and including Brenda Harris, who's on Patreon tonight. Okay? See all the names that came up? This is our tribe. Pray for them. Meditate on them, and however else declare and decree great and wonderful things in their life and on their behalf. Because we are one. We are in this together, and we are connected. All right? Release you with the shalom blessing. Shalom, shalom, peace, wholeness, and prosperity. Nothing missing and nothing broken. It is so, and so it is. And I say this to you as parting words. I say this to you as parting words. With the God that's in you, all things are possible. Thank you for being a part of this journey of awakening and transformation. Support the Light Through Revolution, Inc. by liking, sharing, and giving. Cash App $AG Green and $AG Green Enterprises. You can also give by Zelle. Anthony G. Green at hotmail.com is what you use. And Chime $Anthony/Green/336. If you haven't joined as a member of Patreon, now is a good time. We're a spiritual community that's evolving, transforming, and ascending. If you like what you have seen and heard, connect with us. It's time to vibe with your tribe. Also take time to visit theaggreen.com for the latest developments, and just explore divinespeciesshop.com for spiritual tools to elevate your life. Your love and support helps keep this mission alive.